Yo, what to do, wealth champions? Today's daily hustle, we're talking about 7 keys to setting your environment for success. So let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who do not know me, my name is H Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from wealthcreationplaybook.com. And my entire mission is to empower you economically through financial literacy with a strong emphasis on personal brand development and entrepreneurship. If you're new to the Daily Hustle, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, turn on the bell so you can get the notifications every time we go live with these series. Also, like the page on Facebook and share if you are familiar and you know that you're going to get value from today's episode. We are about midway through our book, The Magic of Thinking Big. So do me a favor, go ahead and comment in the chat and let me know what is the next book do you think we should tackle that's going to help us with either our mindset, our money, our motivation, because that's what the Daily Hustle is all about. It's about helping to uplift, encourage, and motivate you and get your day started off right. So let's jump into these 7 keys because, as y'all know, man, I like to get in and get out with the daily hustle. So it is critically important, man. We've heard it said all the time that we are a product of our environment, right? So if that is the case, why are so many of us complaining about our environment instead of changing our environment so that it's conducive to success so that we can become a product of that, right? And that's incredibly important because we actually pick up more than we learn. Meaning, yes, there's some things that we focus on, we concentrate, and we actually intentionally learn, but we have something within our bodies called mirror neurons. That means we try as best as possible, because we're social creatures, we try to mirror the things that we are around the most. Ever wonder why a husband and wife who's been married a long time start to look alike, right? They start looking more like brother and sister than husband and wife. You start hanging around certain types of people long enough and you start to pick up their characteristics, right? That's why a person like me, I was born in Tupelo, Mississippi. You go down south and you spend 2 or 3 months down south, and before you even realize it, you're doing what? What they call it in the city. You talking country, right? Because without knowing it, since we're social creatures, we start to mirror those people in that environment so that we are more like them, because chances are if we're more like them, we will be more socially accepted. And that's something that our body just does automatically. So what happens if you submerge your body into environments full of success thinking, success motivation, success intention, right? You're going to automatically start picking up some of those things. So, number one, the first thing that you have to do is be conscious of your environment. Just as a body diet makes the body, a mind diet makes the mind. So you need to be conscious of the types of environments that you're putting yourself in. Now that you know you have these mirror neurons, what are you going to do with that information? Are you going to constantly put yourself in environments where the energy is negative all the time so that your mirror neurons start picking that up and you start reflecting that back? Come on, you got to be conscious of your environment. Number two, make your environment work for you, not against you. Don't let suppressive forces, i.e., the negative, you can't do it, people, make you think defeat. So your environment in a lot of cases is more about, and you're going to see as we go through these other 5 things, it's a lot about the people around you, yes, the actual environment, the space, the rooms, the buildings, yes, that is important, but the people that you are constantly around, man, today's day and age, a lot of people don't understand the power of thinking their way to success. And if you're not careful, you'll be around a lot of negative people, and that negative thought process will rub off on you, and you will become a negative person. Number three, don't let small thinking people hold you back. Jealous people want to see you stumble. Don't give them the satisfaction, right? See, there's a lot of small minded people. And what happens is, if you're constantly around small minded people and you're a big thinker like myself, those small minded people can't comprehend your big thinking. So what they do is they try to shrink your big thinking down to the level of their comprehension. And then you will start to shrink your own big thinking down to their level of comprehension. And all of a sudden, just like with weightlifters, just like with athletes, if you don't use it, you lose it. It's called muscle atrophy, right? Same way if you broke your arm and your arm had to be in a cast for 8 weeks, right? The minute that arm comes out that cast, what is one of the first things that you notice? Outside of that, it's a lot more hairy than the other arm, right? But you'll also notice that it is smaller than the other arm. Why? Because you weren't able to use those muscles, so your muscles actually started to shrink and get smaller. Well, guess what? If you're constantly shrinking your big ideas, your big vision to fit small minded people, you stop using your ability to think big, so you start losing it, and your imagination starts to shrink. Number four, get your advice from successful people. Your future is important. Never risk it with freelance advisors who are living failures. It's another huge thing. See, everybody wants to sound important or try to position themselves as if they are important, right? So everybody wants to give what we call freelance advice. But are those people actually living that advice, right? So you want to be able to go and get advice from people who are actually doing it. And a lot of times people will like to say that, well, the real successful people aren't accessible. I can't talk to them. I can't get to them. They don't want to help me. That's not true, man. That's not true. See, real successful people understand the law of reciprocity. See, and what that law says is, I'm going to reap what I sow. Part of my legacy is how many people benefited from me being on this planet. And how do people get to benefit from me being on this planet? Easily, when I help them overcome some of their situations and challenges, when I can give to them advice that will take them to the next level, and they're one day going to be able to say, hey, you know what? I listened to this program called The Daily Hustle every morning, and it really got me through some tough times. When I got through that tough time, I was able to build my business. I was able to have a more successful family. I became a better husband, a better wife, a better father. See, successful people want that, and they're willing to pour into others, but they're successful people, meaning they're often busy being successful. So they don't just volunteer that information. You have to seek it out. And when you seek it out, they're more than eager to help you. Never forget that. Number five, get plenty of psychological sunshine. Circulate in new groups, discover new and stimulating things to do. This one is critically important, man, because when you fall into what we call a routine, a rut, into the life of the mundane, and you are doing the same thing over and over, day in, day out, week in, week out, what happens is your brain literally begins to shrink. I'm talking about in physical size. See, when we were born, we literally, everything was new. So we had millions of neural connectors being created in our brains every day to withstand all of the new stimuli, right? But one of the worst things that was done to us and that we turn around and do to our children because of the society we live in, while that brain is developing all of those neural pathways and connections and everything is new, we shut that down by putting our kids on a routine called school. Now, I'm not a basher of higher education and learning and knowledge. I believe in all of those things, but hear me out. The moment we took our children to school, where instead of everything being so new, they shut down the newness and put our kids on a routine. Yes, the school for the first couple of weeks was new to the kids, but then every other kid there was the same. They did the same things every day, the same sorts of lessons. The walls were the same. Everything is the same, right? Imagine a kid growing up in the jungle where, yes, there is a routine, but there is literally millions of new things to stimulate that brain growth every single day. And there's never a same type of situation going on. There's always new things. Therefore, their minds, their brains are constantly growing and building these new neural connections. What happens to our children when we put them in a daily routine? Those neural connections that your brain is excited to create, they start cutting them off and they start dying out. And they're saying, hey, we actually don't need all of these neural connections because we're not seeing anything new. There's no new information for us to have to digest, sort, store, recall, right? So your job is take a different route to work this morning. Just go see some different stuff, right? Your job is whatever you have planned to do this weekend. I know it's Valentine's weekend, and you're probably going to do something that you normally do every Valentine's Day. How about you do something different, out of the norm, right? Get around some people who think different than you, right? Go to an art gallery, an art show. Go to a different type of event. Don't go to the same old club, same restaurant, same bar. You've got to create new stimuli in your brain regularly. Otherwise, your brain will literally start to shrink in size. Number 6, throw thought poison out of your environment. What is thought poison? Gossip. Avoid gossip. Talk about people, but stay on the positive side, right? So, thought poison is gossip. You should not be gossiping about others, and don't let anybody bring gossip to you. Change the subject, man. That's one thing that I'm working on. When I hear gossip, I'm trying to change the subject, or suddenly I got a phone call, I got somewhere else I have to be, right? And then number 7, go first class in everything you do. You can't afford to go any other way. What does that mean? Start seeking the best of the best with everything it is that you do. Every effort that you have going on in your life, everything that you purchase, everywhere that you go first class, man. You deserve it. And you know what you're going to find when you go first class? Is other successful people also value themselves in that way, and they're going first class as well. So that's another way for you to get around other people who believe that they deserve the best and they have a different mentality, a different thought process, right? So it's important for you to be conscious of your environment and you control it, right? Number 8, this is a bonus for you guys, right? And remember, man, let me know which one of these you struggle with, which one of these you're going to implement, and also let me know what's the next book we should be going through in our daily hustle. Number 8, Also, think about the actual physical environment, right? What kind of pictures can you put up in your space that you frequent the most that's going to make you think success, right? What kind of lighting, what kind of ambiance can you set, right? How can you position your room? Like my room doesn't have, my office doesn't have a TV, right? Some people like a TV in their office. Maybe you don't want that. Start thinking about the actual physical environment and how can you position that for success? Can you put your daily affirmations up on the wall? Do you have a vision board or something that you can reference frequently to make you constantly think about the success that you're going to have in your future? Right? That's important, ladies and gentlemen. So, do me a huge favor, man. If you got any value out of today's daily hustle, then go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, hit the like button on the fan page on Facebook, but also hit the like button on this video. Comment below if you agree with these environment hacks for success, and then let me know what is the next book we should take a look at in our series as we're going through a different book every month or so on the daily hustle. Also, if you, my friend, are looking for a way to build generational wealth, you got to go over to wealthcreationplaybook.com and download your free ebook that outlines the 6 money killers keeping most people broke no matter how hard they work, and the one solution to help you overcome all 6 of those money killers. Again, that's www.wealthcreationplaybook.com to download your free ebook today. So with that, till I talk to you guys tomorrow, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it. Each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.